said who he played for, y'all got it wrong for like 5 guesses.
You did send us that one.
Is he on the Exhibit 10 contract, or is that
that's spooky.
Dimes.
Now this one was crazy, right? I don't know how he saw that one.
Yeah, that's insane.
To Huff.
Now, I don't know how he saw
that
that
is
one.
the most church league-ass reverse right there ever from Huff.
For the modern fan of basketball, especially for the millennials, one name that pops up when you talk about basketball players with shorter height, but have left an incredible impact on the game, is JJ Barea. As a former Dallas Maverick, JJ Barea became a major hero because of his fearless style of play and his crucial role in the 2010-11 season run by the Mavericks for the NBA championship. Barea's hard work and his ability to hold his own against much bigger players, which included shutting down even the renowned LeBron James during the 2011 NBA Finals, made him a favorite player. His legacy isn't forgotten, and even to this day, any undersized guard who can step up into the hustle and bustle of basketball will be remembered by many enthusiasts of basketball. Today, we're not here to talk about JJ Barea or even Steph Curry. It's a new star rising above the odds of height dominance in the NBA. Yuki Kawamura is the new kid in the blocks. It's 2024, and another seemingly undersized player is making waves, this time not in the suburbs of LA or Houston, but from halfway around the world. The Japanese point guard stands tall at 173 centimeters or 5'8", following right into the footsteps of Barea. He is here to once again, like the legend, prove that size is indeed an irrelevant aspect in playing basketball. Yuki was recently signed up with the Memphis Grizzlies on a 2-way deal after a spirited time with the Japanese national team, and he is set to be the next face of Japanese basketball. His path from Japan's B. League into the NBA speaks to his will, but also serves as a sign of how global the sport has gotten. Kawamura was born in Yanai, Yamaguchi, and growing up, he idolized Yuki Togashi, who is another diminutive pro-Japanese basketball player. Just on a side note, but there's probably something about the name Yuki. Yuki Togashi made a reputation for himself despite not being tall, and his achievements serve as a foundation for Kawamura to dream big despite being of short stature. Keen on making his mark, Kawamura began his career early, and while in high school was named to be one of the game's future stars. With his special designated player status enabling him to simultaneously play professionally while still in school, Kawamura led Fukuoka Daiichi High School to back-to-back championships. At only 18 years old, his debut for the Santa Neo Phoenix in the B. League made him the youngest player in the league's history. He didn't just play, he had tremendous success, becoming the youngest to score in a B-League game. All these early successes were motivation for something bigger for Yuki. After his move to the Yokohama B Corsairs, Kawamura's achievements continued upward. He was selected as MVP of the B. League for the 2022-23 season, and that earned him both the Rookie of the Year and the Best 5-Team honors. Yuki has brilliant performances that have easily made him one of the hottest names in Japan's basketball scene, but his ambition is not limited to success on domestic soil. He had his target set on the international stage. After making his debut in the Japanese national team in 2022, just a year later, he found himself right in the thick of Japan's action in the FIBA Basketball World Cup. In one of the most thrilling games of the tournament, Kawamura led Japan to an astonishing win against Finland. Scoring 15 points in the fourth quarter alone, Kawamura's performance gave Japan its first ever win against a European team in a major international tournament. "I want to challenge the world," he had said back then, as just a 16-year-old as per basket count. The goal is to become a point guard representing Japan, and to participate in the Paris Olympics. Kawamura also told FIBA back in March 2022 when he decided to drop out of university to pursue a professional career. The result of thinking about how to get closer to achieving that goal led to this decision. "I grew up to be a basketball player representing Japan. I want to go." Later, he stood out once again in the 2024 Paris Olympics. With Japan pitted against the strong French team, Kawamura had an eye-opening game where he scored 29 points, snatched 7 rebounds, and handed out 6 assists. Even though Japan lost the contest in overtime, Kawamura's performance was one for the record books. He became only the 3rd player in Olympic history behind legends Kevin Durant and Luol Deng to record more than 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game. It was a performance that wowed basketball fans from around the planet and nailed his status as one of the most exciting young players to watch. International success seemed to have merely opened up Kawamura's appetite to reach the NBA. Although he had ambitions to play overseas, which he had put on ice until after the Olympics, now was the time to pursue his dream of playing in the world's top basketball. After the Olympics, Kawamura signed an Exhibit 10 deal with the Memphis Grizzlies that had a built-in provision to be converted to a 2-way contract if Kawamura impressed during preseason performances. Despite his seemingly small size, really, he's not standing in the same height frame with the likes of Michael Jordan or LeBron James or any other popular NBA star that you know. Kawamura's game, however, has transformed favorably to fit into the fast-paced and physical style of the NBA. During this preseason, he impressed fans with his court vision, making spectacular assists while showing an ability to score long range. The standout moment so far in preseason is the game against the Indiana Pacers, where he holds a record of 10 points and 7 assists, plus a viral no-look pass that took social media by storm. Comparisons to players like JJ Barea and other undersized guards in the NBA NBA who really made a difference have been thrown about because of Kawamura's tenaciousness and skill. He showed he could rise to the occasion against quality opponents, and with his high basketball IQ, he should be more than capable of carving out a meaningful role in the NBA, similar to what Beria did with the Mavericks a decade earlier or much more. What has made Kawamura's story so surreal is the fact that he succeeds in a sport where height normally proves to be an essential asset. Standing at 173 centimeters, or roughly 5 to 8, Kawamura would be named among the smallest players in the NBA. But he is more than ready to embrace the challenge. He has identified himself in various interviews as one who believes determination and skill can overcome what physical limitations there might be. Kawamura's performances on the court are an attestation to his beliefs. He's not only playing the game, but rewriting what it means and what it takes to be a great basketball player. Kawamura's story joins those short-statured NBA players who beat the odds like Muggsy Bogues, Spud Webb, and of course the one and only JJ Barea. They proved conclusively that heart, intelligence, and skill could outweigh any perceived disadvantages of height. Kawamura is on his way into this illustrious company. It's a rise to prominence that is having a say in the way basketball is done in Japan. For years, players from Japan have struggled to make an impact on the world stage, though a select few made it into the NBA. But because of Kawamura's success and the growing influence of players like Rui Hachimura and Yuta Watanabe, that story is changing. Success by Kawamura in the 2023 FIBA World Cup and the 2024 Paris Olympics has now turned on a new generation of Japanese basketball players. Younger fans now look up to him in the same way Kawamura once idolized Yuki Tagashi. His determination to prove that size does not define their abilities is something quite relatable to aspiring athletes in Japan, most of whom have similar physical challenges in a sport meant for tall players. Kawamura's influence is also reaching beyond Japan's shores. His story has captured the fancy of basketball fans the world over, and with that comes further globalization of the sport. As Kawamura keeps pushing the envelope, he advances not just his own career, but Japanese basketball internationally too. Well, this is just the start of the long journey for Yuki Kawamura, and the future is incredibly bright. His preseason performances in the NBA prove he has skill and determination to compete at the highest level, as he has further development with Memphis, especially at the G League. There's no doubt Kawamura will become a player to look toward in the coming years. Well, this is as long as he continues to break the barriers and change the status quo in basketball. The story of Kawamura will serve as a motivation for generations that come next, both in Japan and elsewhere in the world. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for more NBA news.